So everybody's muted and we're good to go. So good morning. Glad to see everyone. Hope you are doing well. Bright, shiny, like a penny, like a new penny. So everyone take a deep breath in. Let it go. And another deep breath. And let it go. And just begin to notice the connection with the earth and sensations in the body. And remembering that yoga is about focusing the mind to settle the mind. So as we practice, just notice what you sense, what you feel. Be sure to take care of yourself. Be kind. Just move in a way that your body, you feel okay with it in your body. Find sensation, not pain. Good. Lifting up to that upright seat, open the arms wide, and the palms face the top of the mat. Draw the arms in, but reach through the fingertips. And on your next inhale, take the hands and arms back, take the gaze up toward the ceiling, and you can even point the fingers behind. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the knees, chin to the chest. Soften completely. Inhaling, round up, bring the arms wide, fingers point back, gazing up. Ah, yes. Exhaling, hands to the knees, chin to the chest. And one last time, bringing yourself up, gazing up, reaching wide, exhaling the hands to the knees. And coming up to the upright seat, bring the left hand across and that twist to the right hand behind, spiraling to the right. Inhaling, come to the front, right hand across and gently spiral to the left. And inhaling back to the front. One more time, let's do that to the right. And if you want, you can extend the right arm. And inhaling to the front and to the left, gently extending that left arm, fingers spread. And inhaling back to the front. Oh, good, yeah. So the fingertips down on the floor, turn the palms to the ceiling and inhale the hands up. Gaze follows the lifted hands, exhaling. Ujjayi breath. Inhaling, the hands lift. And exhaling, palms turn out, hands come down. One more time, bringing the hands up. Bring the right hand down to the floor and arc over to the right. Extending through that lifted arm. Inhaling, the right hand up. And exhaling, the left hand down, arcing left. And coming back up, the left hand lifts. Good. Take the gaze straight ahead, draw the arms back. Strong through the fingers and the lifted arms. Back by the ears, reaching, and turn the palms out, exhaling the hands down. Good. So just kind of move a little bit here. Gently keeping the neck relaxed or relaxing the neck. And inhale the shoulders up to the ears, and then take the shoulders forward and down. Draw them back and lift them up. Forward and down. Exhaling in back and up as you inhale. And then take those rotations the other way. And when you bring the shoulders toward the back, bring the shoulder blades together and let them drop down onto the back. Gently move the head, but hold the shoulders back. Press the heart toward the top of the mat. And release. Good. All right. So bring the right elbow up toward the ceiling. And now bring the left hand over the top and just gently draw the right elbow back. And you can come into cow face if you choose. If I do that, I need a strap. And that is if you bring that other hand behind and interlock the fingers. And then release the right elbow and bring the left elbow to the ceiling. Right hand over or behind into cow face. Staying tall. And release on that side. And bring the arms wide and take the right arm across. Left hand comes under and just gently draw the right arm toward you with the left forearm. And come wide. And the same thing. Now the left arm across. Gently drawing that arm toward the chest. And inhaling, bring the arms wide. And bring the hands behind. Interlock the fingers. Press the heels of the hands together and bring the thumbs to the sacrum. Then lift up tall, gently. Does a number on the shoulders. Just gently bring the elbows toward the center, pressing the thumbs into the sacrum. Take a breath. And now straighten the arms, still squeezing those hands together. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale and fold forward and lift the hands up toward the ceiling. Let the head drop down toward the mat. And on your next inhale, lift the head and extend with a long spine as you inhale up. And press the hands and fingers down toward the mat or lift them away from the body and take the gaze up to the ceiling and breathe. Ah, yes. Coming up, release and just move those shoulders, move the head. Good. Come over onto all fours. Coming into a table. And either the toes are curled under or feel the tops of the feet on the mat. And the knees pressing into the mat and the hands, fingers and palms. And now inhale, take the gaze straight ahead, belly drops, exhaling into cat. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. And one more time, belly drops, gaze lifts and exhale. And coming back into table, inhale here and keep the gaze straight down at the center of the mat. As you take the hips over to the right, bring the weight onto the right knee. Press the ribs out. Inhaling, come to center and just move the hips out to the left. Ah, yes. And back to center one more time. Hips move right. And center and hips left. And back to center. Just take a breath here in table, move. Now from our table, bring the weight onto the left knee and just lift the right leg out to the right, as high as it will go. And then bring that knee down and bring the weight to the right and lift the left leg and left knee as high as it will go. And bring it down. And again, let's go to the right, lifting the right leg. And come down with that. And the left leg. And come down with that. Yeah, it's kind of interesting sensations when you do that. So let's extend the right leg with the toes down on the mat. Let the right hip drop, press back through that right heel. Yeah, breathe strong through that extended right leg. And lift the right leg hip height, toes point straight down. Now extend the left arm, awkward pose. One more deep breath. And bring the left hand down, take that right foot out to the right, keep it lifted, look past the right shoulder at those toes, and the toes are pointed toward the top of the mat. And bring the right foot back, hip height. And exhaling, that right knee comes down. Take a breath and move. Extend the left leg, toes on the mat. And lift the left foot hip height, right arm extends, awkward pose, long neck, gazing straight down at the mat. One more deep breath. And bring the right hand down, take the foot out to the left, lifted, strong through that left leg. Spread those toes. And bring that foot back, hip height. Level the sacrum. And bring the left knee down. Good. Take the hips back toward the heels with the knees a little wide. And you can rest your head on the block or those arms, crossed arms. And just breathe. Now walk the hands up toward the top of the mat. Hands are shoulder width. Let the head just go between the arms. And keep the elbows lifted here. Pressing the hands and fingertips down into the mat. So as you breathe, with each exhale, the hips settle a little bit closer down toward the mat, and the head drops a little bit lower. Finding that length through the spine from the fingertips down to the shoulders and down to the tailbone. Inhaling, lift the head, come up and forward. Bring those elbows toward the center into knee plank. Curl the toes, full plank. One more deep breath. And bring the knees down a little wide. Exhaling, take the hips all the way back to the heels. Let the head release. Inhaling, lift that gaze, come up and forward, knee plank, curl the toes, full plank. And your knees can be down here, but just let the hips drop down toward the mat, gaze straight ahead. And bring the knees down a little wide, exhale, and bring the hips all the way back to the heels. Ah, yes. And bring the elbows down behind the wrists, interlock the fingers, curl the toes, and come up into dolphin. And you can pedal those heels, walk the dog. And if you want, you can turn this into a moving dolphin, inhaling as you extend, exhaling, the hips lift, inhaling as the chin comes ahead of the hands, exhaling back, and one more time, coming forward and exhaling back. One more deep breath. Exhaling, bring the knees down and bring the hips back toward the heels. Rest the hips on a block and come up to hero. Good. Just breathe. Some of this stuff is a challenge for sure. And if you don't get there, that's okay. That's okay. Bring the hands behind the feet, fingertips pointing toward the top of the mat. And the big toes are touching back there. And the knees are in close. And then if you choose, just bend the elbows and lift the knees off the mat. And bring the knees down and then press with the hands to lift the hips off the feet, off the heels, and let the head fall back, gazing to the ceiling. Ah, yeah. And bringing the hips down, coming back into hero. And take a big, long, deep breath in. And open the mouth and let it go. Coming back up into table. Bring the knees a little wider under the hips. And curl the toes and come up into downward facing dog. So really bend the knees here, taking the knees almost all the way down to the mat, strong through the hands. And now lift the hips up toward the ceiling and walk the dog, one heel and the other. And then bend the knees, taking the knees almost all the way down, but not quite. And then lift the hips, and now both heels press toward the mat. And now look to the hands, stepping forward. And lift, come into half lift. The hands just below the knees, belly presses toward the toes, gaze is straight down. Exhaling, bend the knees, belly comes onto the thighs, release the top of the head toward the mat. Good. Bend the knees, press with the feet to come up. Inhale the arms wide and hands lift, gaze lifts. Exhaling into mountain pose. Good. And just step it out. We'll do Sun A, then we'll do Ashtanga Sun B. So Sun Salutation A, pressing down into the mat with the feet. Commit to that strong mountain pose. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, bring the right hand down, arc right. And inhale up. And the left hand down, arc left. And inhale up. Taking the arms wide, exhale into forward fold. Come to half lift. And then float back into plank. Inhaling in plank. Remember, knees can be down. Exhale through Chaturanga. Coming down to the mat. Inhale, Cobra. Pressing the tops of the toes into the mat. Take a breath here. And then exhaling, up and back, downward dog. Gently move the head. And then step or float to the top of the mat, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. And now long spine, arms wide, palms turn up, press into the mat to come up. Exhale, mountain pose. Good. Sun A. Let's move to Sun B. This is Ashtanga Sun B. Start in mountain pose, but with the hands in prayer at the heart. And on your inhale, extend the arms, bend the knees, and reach the hands up toward the ceiling into chair. Exhaling, come down to forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhaling, float back into plank. And now vinyasa, bending the elbows to lower. Cobra, modified cobra, upward dog. And back to downward facing dog. And lift the right foot high. And then sweep it forward to the top of the mat. And bring the back knee down if you need to. You can just bring that foot up there. Make sure the heel is ahead of the knee, or no further back than under the knee. Strong high lunge. Spin the back heel in and down. Lift to warrior one. Exhaling, hands come down to the mat. Bring the right foot back beside the left. Inhale and exhale, vinyasa. Back to downward dog. And lift the left foot high. And bring it forward into that high lunge. Settle. Spin the right heel in and down, warrior one. Pressing back through the outside edge of that back foot. Exhaling, hands come down, left foot back beside the right, vinyasa. Downward dog. And breathe. And now float to the top of the mat or step there. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Bring the hands together. Come back up into that chair. And then up, exhaling, the hands down. Good. Sun B, Ashtanga style. Ah, yes. That gets the heart pumping for sure. Step back with the right foot. With the hips square to the top of the mat. Spread those toes. And we're moving into head to toe. Bring the hands behind. Interlock the fingers. And now exhale. And come down over that extended left leg. A little bend in that left knee. And let the head go toward the toes. Now release the hands, bend that front knee, bring the fingertips down to the floor and lift the right foot, hip height. Good, strong standing on the standing leg and into airplane. Inhale up and exhale, the hands down. Good, yoga flop. And step that back now with the left foot and 2 lands for the feet. And bring the hands behind, interlock the fingers, head to knee over the right leg. Arms are strong, hands lifted, top of the head toward the toes. Breathe. And now release the hands, bend the front knee, fingertips to the floor, lifting the left foot, standing airplane. Inhale up and exhale down. Ah, yes, step it out. Good. Step wide on the mat. Pressing the heels out toward the ends of the mat. Bring the hands to the hips and now exhale. Lead with the heart as you come into a wide-legged forward fold. As always, we have a little bend in both knees and release the top of the head toward the mat. And now turn the toes out. Take the hips over toward the right knee, as you bend the right knee, bring the right elbow inside of the right knee. Stay lifted through the heart here. Take the gaze straight ahead. Point those left toes to the ceiling. And press with that right leg coming up. And now bend the left knee, left elbow to the inside, right toes lift. Ah, yes. And now press with that left knee, left leg, coming back up. Release the hands and bring the toes back to the front. Take a big, long, deep breath in and exhale into another forward fold. Ah, yes. And just gently move here. Let the head just hang. And if you've got a block handy, you can grab your block and put it down right under your face. And it can be flat, it can be long edge, short edge, whichever you want to do. And just bring your left hand on top of the block. Press the belly down toward the mat. Extend the right arm. And now with a long spine, open the heart to the right or the back of the mat. And then bring the right hand down onto the block. Press the belly down. Extend the left or the arm that's closest to the top of the mat and open toward the top of the mat. And now bring the left hand down. Take that breath. Exhale into the fold. Get long through the spine, bring the hands to the hips, and now with the long spine, come on up. And we'll move to triangle. Turn the toes toward the top of the mat. The back toes turn in. Find that stance that works for you with the heels in line. Now extend that left arm. Let the hips move toward the back of the mat as you reach forward. Draw the right shoulder back. The front hand comes wherever it comes. It can come above the knee. It can come below the knee, just not right on the knee. Roll the bottom ribs under, lifting into triangle. And now just draw, pull back up with that top hand. And bring the hands to the hips and the toes to the front. Take a breath. And now turn the toes toward the back of the mat. Other toes turn in, or you can drop that back heel back a little bit. Keeping the shoulders and the hips and the heels in the same plane. Bring that back hand up, and now feel the hips move toward the top of the mat as you reach. And the hand comes back as you draw that shoulder back into triangle. And inhaling, come back up. And the hands to the hips and toes to the front. So it's important as you go into triangle, and I'll show you this on this side, that as you move into triangle, you feel the hips shifting because you want to keep the weight even on both feet. So in order to do that, you have to change the center of gravity and move the hips toward the back foot. And then this shoulder has to come back in order to get there. If you don't draw this shoulder back, then your triangle looks like this. And you really don't get the full benefit of the pose. So if you come back up, now you draw the shoulder back. You might not get as low, but now you're really in Trikonasana, in triangle. And coming up. Good. So turning up on my back toes, I just step to the top of the mat. Got a little bit wobbly coming out of that one. Okay, so let's move down to the mat and finish up. Inhaling, bring the hands up. Exhaling to the fold. Come to half lift. And float or step. Back to plank. Take a breath. And exhale through chaturanga, low plank. And one more time into, let's just do cobra. Yeah, just lifting the head and the upper chest. And now bring the chest down. And we'll come into locust. So the hands are down by your side, palms down. Take a breath. Inhale, lift the head and the upper chest, legs and feet, hands and arms. One more deep breath. Exhale, bring everything down. Take the right side of the face to the mat, palms up. Just let it go. Left side of the face. And bring the hands under the shoulders. Come up into table. And bring the feet around to the front. Coming into our Navasana. And just lift the feet. Find the balance. And this might be as far as you get today, which is fine. Or you can extend. Wherever you are, be able to stay here for 5 long, deep breaths. One more. Good. Bring the feet down. Open the knees. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. Come to cobbler. Inhaling up. Bring the knees to the ceiling. Extend the left leg. Bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Just take a breath here. Active through the left leg with the left toes pointing to the ceiling. Lift up tall and then exhale and fold. Between the knees or over the extended leg. And release this right knee toward the floor. Inhaling, come back up. And now bring the left hand to the inside of the extended leg. Open the right shoulder, arcing over the left leg. Inhaling up. Take your right hand down behind the bent knee, just off the mat. Come onto, and hopefully there's carpet, come onto that right knee. And now extend. Nice long line, fingertips to toes, pointing those toes away. Exhaling, bring the hips down. And bring the right knee up to the ceiling. And that right foot can stay right there to the inside of the left leg, or you can cross that foot over the leg to the outside and try to point the toes toward the top of the mat. Extend the left arm and then bring the elbow to the knee, and we'll be twisting to the right. Get tall, let the shoulders release, and spiral into a twist. Inhaling back to the front. Do a counter twist. Bring the right arm to the knee and twist left. Inhaling back to the front. And release the right foot, right leg. Yeah, and you can work the legs a little bit here. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And it's up there pretty high on that inside of that thigh, if that works for you. And then lift up tall and fold between the knees or over the right leg. Again, breathe into the hips to let that left knee release toward the floor. Inhaling, Lift up, bring the right hand to the inside of the right leg, left shoulder opens, arcing over the right leg. And the hand comes up, left hand comes down to the floor, come onto that left knee, point those right toes away, and now get that long line, fingertips to toes. Exhaling, the hips down, lifting the left knee. And again, that foot can stay to the inside or cross over to the outside. Extending the right arm this time. Right arm to left knee, twisting left. And coming back to the front. Release that foot. And bring both feet halfway in. And if your shoulders feel okay, you don't have any shoulder problems, you can try reverse table. Hands behind the hips, and then just bring the hips forward and up. Let the head fall back. And exhaling, bring the hips back down. Hands come behind the knees and gently roll down onto your back. Ah, yes. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide, hands out to the side, palms up, and just take a breath or two right here. Bring the knees up toward the ceiling. Bring the feet all the way into the hips and bring the left ankle onto the right knee, and we'll come through here for figure four. So reach through to the outside of the knee or behind the knee, and that right leg, that right foot can be extended up to the ceiling if that works better for you in figure four. And remember, if you take the foot and the knee a little bit to the right, you might find a bit more sensation in the hip. And now release the right foot, release the left ankle. Take a breath. Ah, yes. And now bring the right ankle onto the left knee, figure 4. Flex that right foot. And then gently take everything a little bit, just a little bit to the left. And now release the left foot to the mat, the right ankle. Again, come into reclining cobbler pose. Ah, yes. Bring the knees up to the ceiling, extend the legs long. Bring the right knee into the chest. Hug it in, circle the toes. And take that knee toward the right shoulder. So just draw it a little bit up toward the back of the mat and to the right, toward the right shoulder. Good, and then release the right knee, extend the right leg, bring the left knee into the chest, circle the left toes. Take the knee toward the left shoulder. Yeah, drawing it in toward that left shoulder. Good. Bring the right knee to meet the left, both knees in to the chest, gently rock. One hand on each knee, open the knees wide. Good. All right. Take both feet straight up to the ceiling, hands down by your side, palms down, pressing the heels up. And bend the knees, bring both feet down to the mat, and come into your Savasana. Ah, yes. Finding that connection, noticing the sensations, adjusting and moving if you choose. And releasing. Little movements and larger movements. Ah, yes. And when you're ready, you can roll to one side, coming up. Thank you all for practicing. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. I'm glad you all could make it. I'm stopping.